What Were They Thinking is brought to you by HostGator. HostGator is a leading provider of shared, reseller, VPS, and dedicated hosting solutions. Award-winning support is available 24/7, 365 days a year via phone, email, and live chat. Discover why over 9 million websites trust HostGator. Use the coupon code SCHLOCK for 25% off your first purchase. That's SCHLOCK, SCHLOCK, for 25% off your first purchase.
What Were They Thinking is brought to you today by GameItAll.com. Whether it's video game news, the latest in music, or movie reviews, GameItAll.com is your one-stop shop for all nerdy talk. I have a question.
What's that, little Hulkster?
Hulk Hogan?
That's right, brother.
I mean, someone who sounds like Hulk Hogan, but copyright-wise is not technically Hulk Hogan.
That's right. Sure. Why not? Don't internet search me.
Okay, my mom doesn't let me use Google anymore anyway.
That's probably for the best, little Hulkster.
Wait a second. Maybe you can help me.
I'll do what I can.
I'm looking for all the wrestling news, rumors, and all the results, and I can't find them anywhere.
Well, let me tell you something, little Hulkster. If you need your fix for internet wrestling rumors and results and all the inside information, you're going to need to go to WrestlingNewsWorld.com. If you're not there, you're not anywhere, brother.
Wow, thanks, kind of Hulk Hogan.
Sure thing, little Hulkster. Remember, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, and go to school and all that other stuff, because I'm not really Hulk Hogan, so I don't know what he'd want to say.
WrestlingNewsWorld.com.
Alright, mates, I got one of the best ideas ever for our next movie.
Oh,
you ready?
Oh, let's hear it, guy. You're always you know what? You always make quality films and movies that make a ton of money. So let's go out with it.
Alright, well, I figured we've done the British gangster thing to death. Absolutely to death. So, and I did that terrible movie with my ex-wife that we'll never talk about ever again. I mean, ever. But I was thinking, for my next movie, we should go back to me roots. And not just to England, but like our greatest king. And we should make a movie that is absolutely 100% historically accurate. And we'll do a movie about King Arthur.
You know what? I love it. So you're going to change your style a bit. You're going to do a medieval fantasy picture. Great. The only problem is they did make that movie in 2004.
Oh, now that bollocks was all Americanized and whatnot. It wasn't even historically accurate. I mean, where was the dragons? Where was the beasts? Where was the magic? There was none of that stuff there. And that is not historically accurate. I have studied British history from day one. From the cradle, me mum taught me to study British history, and I know the stories and history of King Arthur, and that was a highly historically inaccurate movie, and we're going to do it right, and we're going to get the Sons of Anarchy kid to help us.
You want to get an American, right? Because he's not American.
Yeah, that's okay. He's got an accent. Last time I heard him, he was speaking with an accent when he wasn't on the show.
He's from Australia.
Well, he's fine. An accent's an accent. I mean, he's pretty handy with that American one of his, isn't he? I think he'll be able to do a British one lickety split. I say, I've got all for money, and we do it, and we're going to make tons of bank on it. And everyone will love this film.
Let's sign you up for 6 films.
Alrighty then. And that was the pitch meeting for King Arthur. Pretty
Guy Ritchie was like, just give it to me. Money in the bank. Hello everyone, I'm Brendan.
I'm Nathan.
This is What Were They Thinking, and we have a special guest here. First ever podcast crossover on our show. Ooh. Is the somebody's aroused. We have Steve from Everything I Learned from Movies. Unfortunately, Izzy could not make it, but we do have Lord Steven here.
Hey everybody. wait, sorry, it's King Arthur. Hello, everybody.
No, he had to make the wrestling reference right out of the gate.
Woohoo!
Lord, yes,
Lord Steven Regal.
I, you know what? Not even intentional, but I'll take it.
All right.
So, yeah, this was the result of a fan poll and we
I
chose.
thought you were going to say a drunken bet between Guy Ritchie and a movie producer.
Oh, yeah, the movie definitely. But this was the result of a fan poll that we are doing King Arthur: Legend of the Sword. Now, before we dive into this movie, Steve, why don't you tell us a little bit about your podcast and where we can check that out?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, thanks for having me on, guys. It's Everything I Learned from Movies, where we watch bad to questionable movies, kind of break them down a little bit, and then share the lessons we learn with everybody so they don't have to waste 2.5 hours watching Postman or something like that. Yeah, we also have like mini episodes. Oh my god, got to interview Sven-Ulf Thorsen last month. That was awesome. If you don't know who he is, Google it. Just amazing storyteller and stuntman, and he's the big guy like in all the Schwarzenegger movies that isn't Schwarzenegger, the one with the beard. You know him. But yeah,
he's what's his name in Mallrats?
Yeah, LaFours.
LaFours.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was also Tigress in Gladiator, the like retired gladiator that came back and had a whole fight scene and everything with Russell Crowe. Yeah, top shit. And it's his birthday today, actually. He turned 73 years old today.
Yeah, and that interview was live via satellite in Sweden.
Spain. He was in Spain. Yeah.
Oh, Spain. Sorry, I thought Sweden for some reason.
Yeah, he's...
It's the same continent.
Exactly.
Yeah, I make the movies, dork, bork, bork.
What is it, the Swedish chef?
No, I think he was impersonating the mage from this movie.
Oh no, if he was impersonating the mage from this movie, he would have said, "Hello, I am the mage from this movie."
We'll get to her.
A flatline delivery. Yeah.
Right. First and foremost, throwing this out there, I actually really like this movie, so continue.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
No, I did too.
You're both wrong.
We shall see.
Well, let's talk about... I have a few things here before we get into the actual movie about little behind-the-scenes thing. This movie was a giant flop.
Yes, yes it was.
Budgeted at $175 million.
Oh,
in the U.S., it made $39 million.
Oh man!
Wow.
Worldwide made 146, but that's still a giant flop.
Yeah.
So this is the thing I read about Charlie Hunnam getting cast in this movie, and this makes me laugh. So apparently the runners-up were Charlie Hunnam, Henry Cavill, and Jai Courtney for the role of King Arthur.
Oh god, Jai Courtney.
Okay.
So basically, Guy Ritchie kept asking Charlie Hunnam about his his body shape, because apparently he had lost a lot of weight for Sons of Anarchy. He was not in the kind of shape that he wanted King Arthur to be in. So Charlie Hunnam apparently said this about the other two runner-ups. This is actual quote. "Look, dude," I'm not gonna do the accent. Sorry. "Look, dude, you keep bringing this up, the physicality. It's obviously your primary concern. So if you want to do away with all this auditioning bollocks, I'll fucking fight those other two dudes. I know who they are. You can bring them both in here. I'll fight them both. The one who walks out the door gets the job." And then he was immediately given the job.
Fighting around the world.
I thought he was auditioning for Guy Ritchie, not Michael Bay.
The Russell Crowe School of Auditioning.
"Listen, I'm gonna fight you."
Hello.
Hey, Tugger!
Hey, Guy, it's Jason Statham. I heard you're doing a King Arthur movie and someone wants to fight for the role.
Did I hear correct?
Oh my god.
So, I mean, he's not terrible, but it's an odd choice for this movie.
I thought he did rather well.
Now,
I feel what they were going for here is we're gonna try to get both genders in the theaters for this one.
Ugh.
I mean, we'll get the guys who like Sons of Anarchy, and then we'll get the girls who like Jax from Sons of Anarchy.
two different audiences.
Yeah.
I gotta say too. So when as you heard in the opening, that was not a joke. This movie was intended to be the first of 6.
Oh yeah. Oh, I
my
absolutely see it. This was the super origin story. Like, there's no Lady Guinevere, there's no Lancelot, they haven't even finished constructing the round table at the end of this movie.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
This
I have a great joke for when that comes up. Great joke for that.
We will spoil the shit out of this movie. Don't even worry about that.
Still check it out.
And not only was this the first of 6 films, going to be the first of 6 films, the original cut of this movie was 3.5 hours.
Oh my! I could not have taken. I would have had a bad time if this had been 3.5 hours long.
Where can I get that?
I think this movie delivered it stopped at just the right time before it got to be the point of tedium for me.
Well, if I understand correctly, the 3.5 hour version actually had female roles in it, whereas this one had 5 women that I can think of offhand. 3 of them die after their 2 lines of dialogue. Another one is used in Trickeration by King Jude Law, and then the other one is a mumbling mage.
Mm-hmm.
This movie does not pass the Bechdel test.
but all the whores.
Oh, oh my God, the whores! How could I forget them?
All the prostitutes.
How could you
don't
forget
have
the
lines.
whores?
Wasn't this movie called King Arthur: Legend of the Whores? Because that's kind of what he was for the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Oh,
He was a pimp.
Yeah, he totally was a pimp.
hey.
Well, actually, yeah. As he got older, he basically became the protectorate, meaning he was the pimp.
All right, let's dive into this thing. So right away, I kind of dig this though. I will say something positive. I do like when a movie has their regular company logos at the beginning and does something fun with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because all the logos at the beginning are forged in steel.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta say something positive, so that's gonna be the first one, I guess.
Well,
I have a feeling it's probably going to be the only positive.
Well, I remember seeing a preview of this movie a week before it came out, and I was so excited for it. And then the first thing you really see on screen is the Warner Brothers logo, and I'm like, oh no, this can't be good. And then the logo for Weed Road or whatever Productions, Guy Ritchie's production company, and I'm like, okay. And then I see a tower in the distance, and I'm like, oh no. and then a 100-foot elephant. Oh,
Yeah.
It's this movie.
Oh,
I'm in.
The dino fence?
Yeah.
So the opening is very until we get to the actual fighting, the opening is almost silent.
Yeah.
And there's a text crawl. Well, not a crawl, but it just appears on screen, and it assumes you know a lot already. Because it has this whole thing where it's humans and mages were very tight, and I'm like, okay, first of all, what the hell is a mage?
Come on, Brendan, read a book.
They just
Play an
jump
RPG,
right
for
into
God's
it.
sake.
Yeah, come on, Final Fantasy much? Yeah.
All right, nerds. Mages mean many different things to many different works.
It's
On
as if
many,
they were
many
a
sides.
magician or something like that.
Harry Houdini in King Arthur. Did you guys get the sense that this movie was originally called Camelot by the way that the text went?
Oh,
Because,
yeah,
the way it ended it.
letters. Yeah.
Yeah, the big Camelot. It was like,
I think that one's been
snap
done
your
too.
title.
I think it's
Snap
been
your
taken,
title.
though.
Yeah.
There is a study too, by the way, of longer titles doing poorly at the box office. Like King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World, stuff like that.
Oh, that's
huge
why Don't Be a
bombs.
Menace to South Central Drinking Your Juice in the Hood did so poorly.
Exactly what I was thinking. The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, who gives a shit.
Yeah.
You know what? I like that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're going on.
Yeah.
We're talking about your theory about how longer titles don't do so well at the box office.
Yeah. Well, if you want to, even the latest Transformers movie didn't do so great. Now I had kind of a long title.
I don't think that had anything to do with the
Yeah.
title.
I think it was only due to the title and nothing to do with the content of the movie. So yes, we learned from the opening credits that there is an evil mage named Mordred.
I thought they had said Modor, and I thought if I had not rented this on YouTube, I would have sworn someone like mixed up a feed, and I ended up starting to watch a Lord of the Rings movie.
That was just it with the tower and the giant elephants. I'm like, what is this?
I'll say this: at least they were fairly upfront in the fact that this is not going to be a historical, accurate portrayal of the story of King Arthur.
And
Well-
I appreciate that.
Well, I mean, even the little things like Jude Law has like a 3-piece suit on,
Yeah.
like a very modern looking suit with his little crown.
I felt that Rufus Sewell would have done a way better job in that.
Oh my god.
I just think, well, we'll get to Jude Law because I have was surprised by something from him in this movie, but let's talk about the giant elephants.
In the room, yes. Let's talk about the giant elephants in the room.
Hey,
good.
Giant elephants in the room.
In that there were giant elephants in this movie, like dinosaur-sized elephants in this movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just huge CGI elephants being controlled by this Mordred dude with, by the Eric
Carrying
Bana.
carrying country bungalows on their back.
Yeah, I didn't really understand what was quite going on, but all I knew is there's some kind of invasion by this evil mage, and Eric Bana is the king.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, fucking Eric Bana showing up for maybe 5 minutes.
Hey, if you need to take out a 100-foot elephant, bring in the Hulk.
Yeah, for sure.
Wait, Edward Norton?
No, the other one.
No, not Mark Ruffalo.
Oh, Mark Ruffalo.
Lou Ferrigno, that's what we're talking about, right?
That's right. Yeah.
When Eric Bana got mad in this movie, he should have turned into Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah, right. It's okay, guys. I got this.
So this is the first big unintentional laugh in this scene for me. I literally was tears coming out of my eyes when I saw this in the theater, because Eric Bana goes over to jump onto the elephant on his horse.
Yeah.
He jumps up at the last second. The horse just goes flailing off the cliff.
Yeah.
Into the abyss. And it's just kind of shown in a far off shot, and nothing, no real weight is given to it. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, there goes the horse. This movie, just casual horse violence.
Hopefully it was a CGI horse at least.
Yeah, Guy Ritchie's like, no, we gotta use a real horse.
Cut.
Get me a real horse in here.
Cut. Reverse angle wasn't rolling. Let's do it again. Bring out Buttercup.
Horse after horse after horse were killed for this movie.
Bring in the stunt horse.
At the end, it's
Stunt horse.
at the end of the movie.
No,
It's
not the horse.
dedicated
the
to
horse.
the memory of the stables that we lost.
It'd be great if the movie just ended with a series of pictures of all the horses.
Vio Condidos.
Make that show. I'll give him the old Raul Julia Street Fighter tribute.
Exactly.
Oh. I thought it was in poor taste in that movie when they did that, and then at the end he came back to life.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, big elephant fight. I wish it was an elephant fight.
We are now 3 minutes into this movie.
We spent a lot of time on elephants and horses dying. So, which the movie spends 30 seconds on. Eric Bana kills Mordred, and we learn that his brother Jude Law is in with Mordred. He's
Yes, treachery.
treachery is afoot.
Treachery is afoot. Yes. Which
And
coke are you doing?
What?
How much coke are you doing?
Pepsi for me, actually. But yeah, so Eric Bana kills Mordred. Jude Law, it turns out. Okay, here's the weird thing. When he kills Mordred, it cuts to this weird thing where Jude Law is holding his head, hurting his head hurts or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I thought at first that Mordred had taken over his body entirely.
And that's the real question, because I was kind of thinking that too, watching it again. I'm like, oh, was Jude Law betraying him before? Yeah, he was kind of dabbling in the arts and stuff, but then did he just transport over and it's Mordred or whatever after that? Maybe that was the angle they were going for, and then no, we can't just have that happen. We got to have Jude Law be the asshole,
Yeah. I don't know. Like it was confusing. It's like they kept that in the movie, but then they cut all the stuff that would have like supported that idea. Maybe we would have found out in King Arthur. Maybe we would have found out in King Arthur 4.
Yeah, right.
Sadly, we'll never know.
Oh, what a shame.
King Arthur 4: A New Hope.
King Arthur 5: The Elephant Strikes Back.
King Arthur 6. Arthur Takes Manhattan.
Return of Buttercup. Man, I want to see a horse revenge movie now.
Ooh, I'm sure.
All right. Okay, so I have a note here that just says, "Gotta love that PG-13 swordplay."
Yeah.
Any movie that's PG-13 has these big battle scenes where you see like the sword make full contact, but like there's nothing. People just kind of fall down.
And then they fall over and it's absolutely bloodless.
Yeah. Like doesn't that teach our kids a worse lesson?
or later the guys that are like bleeding out to death or whatever, they like touch their side and there's like a little bit on the tips of their fingers and it's like, oh no, he's certainly gonna die. It's like, no, you'd be like bile and all kinds of stuff. Like I've seen a Tom Savini movie. I know what's gonna happen. Stuff's gonna come gushing out.
So Jude Law ends up killing Eric Bana's wife.
Yeah, he does. Wait. No. It's Sexy Reaper that
Kills
kills
his wife.
The Sexy Grim Reaper.
I thought that was also Jude Law.
We find out later.
Jude Law kills his own wife.
Oh.
Yeah, but
never mind.
He also kills the other wife though, because he's like that Grim Reaper thing is him.
Yeah, but that's not revealed until later. And yeah.
Oh, whoops!
Sorry.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert! You guys aren't gonna watch it.
That's the real spoiler here. Spoiler alert, no one's gonna watch this movie.
Yeah.
After we talk about it.
If no one did the first time, they ain't gonna do it now. But yeah, okay, yeah, so Jude Law does kill his own wife in order to like get that disgusting tentacle octopus woman.
The Octo Mermaid.
Cthulhu.
What?
I named her Cthulhu.
Cthulhu?
Yeah.
I just put down ugly octopus lady with two hot chicks.
Yeah.
It was bizarre.
She was their pimp.
Yeah. I just didn't know what the point of having the other two girls is. There were the producers like, guy, we can't have you can only have this ugly woman if you put in two hot ones.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was.
You're right. See, Steve was at the production meeting.
I wish. Oh, there would have been more elephants. And by the way, there wouldn't be any of that PG-13 nudity where like their hair is covering their breasts and stuff when they're swimming around.
Right?
Absolute bullshit.
Absolutely. Yeah, so this is where we pretty much launch in the opening credits, because Jude Law kills his own wife to kind of gain some sort of wizardly power.
He's getting a wish granted, I believe.
Yeah, so he can become like super powerful. We find out that a Grim Reaper type guy kills Eric Bana's wife. It's totally
I'm starting to understand why, Brendan, you didn't like this movie, because I don't feel you paid attention.
I paid full attention to it.
Jude Law kills his wife so he can be granted his heart's desire, which in this case is to be the King of England. But
Sure.
they are like, okay, we'll help you with that, but they won't kill Arthur. They won't kill his son. They'll give him the power to take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and
but
so
I
that's
mean,
how he becomes that Final Fantasy boss version of the Grim Reaper.
You know what?
What? Sorry to pay
So
attention.
is it-
no, I didn't mean to.
Yeah,
You
you
did
really dropped the ball on that one.
I did bad.
You did a bad thing.
Wah, wah.
So this is where the opening credits begin, as the mother is like falling to her death.
Yeah.
Yep.
King Arthur pops up on screen. It's an odd way of starting.
Yeah.
And I gotta think this is one of the edit points where Arthur goes from a child to an adult in about 2 minutes.
I actually...
Guys, you need a montage.
Yeah, I actually really like that, because you don't need any of that backstory. You got the whole that he was raised by, apparently, Kung Fu George, and...
Kung Fu George and whores.
Yeah, and whores, and grew up to become a pimp in that environment. That's all you need. You can do that over an amazing soundtrack. By the way, love the music in this movie. I'll say right now.
Yeah.
This music made me uncomfortable.
Calm down, June.
I mean,
You always pull
what
that
is
card
this
out.
music's mission?
No, the only time the music made me really uncomfortable was when they were doing that, like,
Oh yeah.
like the breathing stuff. I can't handle it.
You were so upset.
I was so upset. No, like when this movie. Oh God, don't do that. when this movie played in theaters, and we were going in. It was I work at the theater. Everyone, if you don't know by now, and we were going into during the closing credits to like kind of see how bad it was or whatever. That song was like the first song, and I was just like, I'm just gonna wait it out.
Yep. And then it was immediately followed by that. It
was like that weird.
That song's awesome. My rendition sucks though.
But that's another $100. We are running up the copyright bill.
Oh no, I think that falls under fair use.
Oh, I think it's no more than 10 milliseconds is what I think.
Also, I don't believe it was transformative. I don't think people would be like, you know what, I'm going to listen to that instead of the original.
Steve, you have another career waiting for you.
Yeah, there we go.
I gotta say, I'm not the biggest fan of this montage, just because I feel like if you're gonna do the thing where he's a kid and he grows up and stuff, do it or don't do it. Like, I think if they had cut to him being an adult and then just kind of had like references to his upbringing and stuff, I kind of would have liked that a little bit more. But I mean, at least it wasn't an hour and a half of him growing up.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the real good part about it, is that because we've complained about that several times before on episodes where it's like, I don't need another full movie to tell me how Spider-Man became Spider-Man.
Yep.
I know how it happened. Everybody knows how it happened.
I don't need to see Batman's parents killed again.
Right. So for them to be like, you know what, we're just gonna do a montage, and that'll show him growing up, and that'll be fine.
Montage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You got it. You're getting it now.
You guys are not gonna turn me around on this movie. You just give up now.
All right.
So yeah, he grows up really quickly. We learn that he's being trained by Chinese George. That is what they call
Kung
him in the
Fu.
movie. No, they
Kung
call
Fu
him
George.
At one point, they do call him Chinese George.
Yeah, Chinese George,
Okay.
Kung Fu George.
Kung Fu George. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we see basically he gets raised in a whorehouse by a bunch of prostitutes. We do have our first major female character, Lucy, who has about 3 lines. You said 2 lines, maybe?
About that, yeah.
Yeah. Because this is where Arthur quickly encounters trouble because he fucks over the Vikings.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, no, he does, but the Vikings started it.
Well, yeah, I mean, they beat the shit out of Lucy, so I mean, it's
And didn't pay her.
justified to... Yeah, it's justified to fuck with the Vikings in this case.
Absolutely.
But then we find out that the Vikings are, like, under the king's protection or something.
Yes, after we get the, and I guess this is where we see that big tonal shift in the movie, because we've gone from something very epic, that big fight with the giant dinosaur elephants with the houses on their backs and the magic and everything, and then we go to a Cockney gangster movie essentially.
Yeah, and
Because we get that snappy back and forth with the dialogue, how everything's explained, and everyone's talking really quickly, like you would in, say, like, you know, Lock, Stock, or Snatch, or Rock and Rolla, those other, you know, really good gangster Guy Ritchie movies. But it seems really out of place here.
Yes, thank you. I thought exactly the same thing. As soon as they do that, as soon as they're doing that scene where they're like, "Yeah, we talked to Mike. It's always a good day, Mike. More is more. More is more. More is better than less. More is definitely better than less, Mike. Yeah, Mike." That whole bit, I was like, "Stop! Just tell me how you met the Viking. I don't need this back and forth nonsense. Like, it's good in movies like Snatch, like you said, or Lock, Stock. I'm assuming, I've never seen Rock and Rolla, but I'm assuming they do it in that movie too.
It's not the of the three, Guy Ritchie gangster movies. I'd say it's the bottom of the ones, but it's decent. But I mean, it's still got that same type of dialogue.
Yeah, and it's like sometimes Guy Ritchie does these dialogue cutaway, cutback scenes so much that I'm honestly confused about where we are. There's a later scene which we'll talk about later, but I was just like, okay, has this happened? Is this going to happen?
I know the scene you're talking about. Yeah. We talked about that for about 5 minutes too.
Yeah, I was so confused. But anyway, so they say that this is where Jude Law also goes down to the what are we calling her? That
Cthulhu.
octopus thing, Cthulhu.
Cthulhu.
And she tells
Ursula
him
the Sea
that
Witch.
Ursula the Sea. Well, that worked too. Yeah.
Oh, you poor unfortunate soul. So
I'll give you that.
this is where we hear. This is where we hear the term "born king" for the first of approximately 6 million times.
That's pretty important to the legend, but
I know, but like, come on. So he finds out that Arthur is there's a born king out there, the baby that got away. That sounds bad.
The Moses baby.
The demon, Ursula, Cthulhu, I know that she's saying, like, if you desire help, you know the price, but the way she says it, I'm like, is she trying to fuck him?
Yeah, right?
There's some, like, sexual tension, I think.
Hey, I'm sure.
Well,
I'm
she
sure
is
that's an
trying to
option.
seduce him to kill. Yeah, she's trying to seduce him to kill a loved one. Because that's how his wishes are granted. A loved one's blood must be spilled in this water.
Can you imagine if, like, after that had happened, she's like, all right, we can get down now.
If he was smart, he would have, fucked her, said he loved her, and then killed her.
Hey.
If he...
Does that mean infinite wishes?
Is she, like, a gross version of the genie from Aladdin?
No,
Oh, God. Speaking of Guy Ritchie's next movie.
With the Ursula the Sea Witch thing, I think we've kind of hit it right on the head here. She's not Ursula. She's not the genie. I think she is the unholy offspring of a dalliance between the genie and Ursula the Sea Witch.
Oh, good lord.
They hooked up at
So
a Disney mixer, and one thing led to another.
Genie was a little drunk.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
I'll give
God,
you such
you're
a
amazing.
stuffing.
And then she was like, "If I'll let you fuck me if I can have your voice."
So there you go. Rule 43, everyone. Rule 43.
We just talked about the genie fucking Ursula from, and we're talking about the movie King Arthur, by the way. Did you get? I got vibes of Casablanca at one point when that guy shows up and he's looking for the one of the resistance soldiers at Arthur's like brothel.
Oh. Yeah.
And Arthur's doing that whole thing where he's like, I don't.
Goose Fat Bob or something?
Yeah,
Goose
yeah,
Fat Bill.
Goose Fat Bill.
Goose Fat Bill, yeah.
And he's like, oh, I know nothing of the people that come through here. Like, it'd give me a very, like, Humphrey Bogart, like, Germans coming over to look for, like, Jewish people.
And then some guy was playing
Just
the
saying,
piano
Guy
in the
Ritchie
corner,
did it.
and, you know.
Well, they did take them and put them on barges and send them up the river.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's no different than kind of the trains and away. And we're taking a dark turn, and we should probably stop.
We should probably stop comparing this to World War II and
Yes,
concentration
yes.
camps.
Brendan,
Yes,
you're
we
not
should.
going to sway us on this movie by comparing it to the Holocaust.
Okay, fine.
All right.
So yeah, again, we already talked about that scene where they're all like talking quick. You find out that the Vikings are protected, and that's why Arthur's in deep doo-doo, guys. He's in deep shit.
Yeah.
Right.
So
So they stick him on a barge and they send him up a river.
Yeah, where we get the greatest cameo of all time. David Beckham, who has 2 lines, and what's funniest about that is I remember reading something when this movie came out, and Guy Ritchie was like, OMG, David Beckham is like amazing actor.
Yeah.
Like he was so good in the movie. So good. And I'm just like, oh, he must have like a fairly big part. Nope, he has 2 lines.
both hands around the shaft, give it a tug. I'm like, is he telling him to masturbate there on the rock? Or?
No, he's telling him to bend it like Beckham.
Zing!
It had to happen.
It did. And the way what's funny is that, like, before I saw the movie, I did not know that was David Beckham. So when they cut to, like, his face dramatically, I was like, who the fuck is that guy?
And why should we give a shit? Why does he get a dramatic face cut, eh?
I was like, it's like that whole thing. It's like that whole thing where someone's back is turned to the camera and then they do this turnaround and it's like a famous person you didn't expect. It's like that kind of reveal. And I'm just
like when Schwarzenegger cameos in The Rundown.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just like, who the fuck are you? So Arthur pulls the sword out of the stone.
I have the power.
Come again?
My wife and I both did that exact thing when it happened. The He-Man thing. Held it aloft his magic sword.
And then immediately passes the fuck out.
Yeah. Guess he did know the power. Jeez. He-Man, more like She-Bitch.
Wow. Yeah, so he pulls the sword out, passes out, so then Jude Law is like, I found the born king. And now I'm going to kill him.
Spot on Jude Law, by the way.
Thank you. Is Jude Law here, guys? I'm Jude Law, and I'm the king.
Get out of my way.
And then we get more scenes, like, every time he walks around in that fucking suit holding the crown in his hand, I just think it's so ridiculous. that little, like, Fisher-Price crown.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually a pretty accurate depiction of what, the crown was kind of supposed to look like. It wasn't large and ornate. It wasn't Jerry the King Lawler's crown. Yeah. It was just a simple, gold ring that with, I guess embellishments or crosses or whatever that the king would have worn. Nothing huge.
Yeah, jewelers weren't as big back in the Middle Ages.
This is also a confusing Guy Ritchie edit scene, because he talks about, like, what he's gonna do when he goes out there to the crowd, and then it cuts to him already doing it, and then it cuts to, like, them killing Lucy, and then it cuts back, and it's just like, I died.
Well, Brendan,
it's to effectively show what's going to happen as it's happening. It's actually a quite effective editing technique.
I don't care for
it. Well, no, it works. It works well in other movies that he's done. In other movies that are in the vein of Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and stuff, where they'll talk about the plan and then they show them implementing the plan. The only thing is, when that happens, the planning and the actual happening are usually, at least a half a day apart. So it's dark out when it's happening, but it's light out when they're talking about it. So you can differentiate. You can go, okay, when they're doing it, this is them actually doing it, but what I'm hearing is them talking about it, and then they'll cut back to the person talking about it. They don't do it when the event is like 15 seconds removed from when they're going to be doing it.
Yeah. It's just like, it's like, there's literally a scene here, I think it's this scene, where you hear Jude Law talking, and like I know the movie technique where you have someone talking, you don't see them right away, and then it cuts to the scene, and then you see them talking, but it's literally like 30 seconds of him talking over a scene, and I'm just like, is he talking in that scene? And then all of a sudden it cuts to the scene where he's actually talking. I was like, why did they wait so fucking long?
Yeah.
And like, I gotta say too, this movie would have been way more effective with an R rating.
Yeah.
It's not like they were gonna get any kids to go see this.
Well, and true, and it's not like they would have lost any more money.
It made $37 million.
The thing with it being with them dalliance with that, going rather with that PG-13 thing, I can't think of anybody between the ages of 13 and 25, I'm going to say conservatively, who would be interested in a King Arthur movie, right? You know, Knights of the Round and fantasy and that sort of thing. That sort of stuff, I'm gonna say, is geared more towards, you know, kids who are into, you know, fantasy stuff, World of Warcraft, and adults who are, you know, I don't want to say man children, but
man
it
children.
is a phrase that can be used.
So what I'm hearing is there needs to be a World of Warcraft movie because there's no way that'll lose money.
Again, PG-13. If you want your target demographic to go see it, you can't make it a PG-13 movie, and you can't make it a hard R. This movie should have been a little lighter and geared towards kids, but that's not in Guy Ritchie's wheelhouse.
No, that's why he's doing Aladdin next.
By the way,
oh my God, I can't wait for that.
By the way,
we actually see
never
the
gonna
origin
do-
of the genie and Ursula, you know, hookup towards the end of that.
Man, that's the climax of the movie.
Literally.
Hi-yo!
Yeah, by the way, Warcraft will never do. I will never pick that movie. I've seen it, and I fell asleep 3 times.
Oh, wow.
Just remember that when you're picking your movies, Brendan.
Please don't pick Warcraft.
Just remember that when you're picking your movies, okay?
Nope.
I don't know why you give me this ammunition. You tell me these things. It's like, I'm terrified of clowns. Good to know.
Yeah, but you know what? I was the one who picked Killer Clowns, okay? You know what? Pick Warcraft. I don't even care.
Shoot, that doesn't work. Doesn't work with my daughter. Not gonna work with you.
You know what? Like, a cool person, like, wouldn't pick Warcraft. I'm just saying.
It didn't work in high school on me. Not gonna work with you now.
Just saying. I thought you were, like, cooler than that, but that's all right.
I guess you were wrong.
Well,
eh?
you know, everybody's picking Warcraft, so I guess if you're that kind of person...
Hey, whoa! I'm not mainstream.
Yes, it worked. Thanks, Steve.
You're welcome.
I have a note here that says vaguely racist Arthur. Does anybody remember that?
Wait, what?
Anything like that? I don't know.
We've already talked about Chinese / Kung Fu George, Brendan.
Yeah.
This note should have been made a while ago.
I don't think it was that though. I don't know. It's like
No.
something he says maybe to the Vikings or something. I don't know.
I do have a note here because with the whole getaway thing, when they go to kill him and they have that big getaway scene and everything, and they'll jump off the cliff. And Patty was watching this with me, and she was like, "Nope,
Yep.
nope." I was like, "So you just let them kill you?" She goes, "Probably."
Yeah. We get that same reaction too. It's like, oh, they're dead.
So what we're talking about is the
Yeah,
scene
yeah,
that
so-
comes up shortly after this, where they basically plot to assassinate. Oh, this is way later.
No.
No.
Yeah. So
This
the
is
whole thing.
This is during the execution
Yeah.
scene. You know how you were complaining about how they kept saying what was going to happen outside?
Oh,
and
that
then switching
escape.
back?
Yes.
That
yes.
escape. Yes.
Because this is where we meet the mage,
right.
who, by the way, apparently, according to the 6 movies that were going to get made, she was going to be later revealed as Guinevere.
false.
That actually, I was waiting for that.
Yeah. I was waiting for that. Oh, my friends call me Mary Jane or whatever at the end. That bullshit. Nope. Glad it didn't happen. Glad that movie's never gonna be made. When I pick up the sequels, that will change because the mage is horrible.
Yes, the mage. I don't know about you, Nathan. But yes, mage is the worst character for me.
Patty liked her. She said she was sassy.
I just thought she was
How could she
so,
tell?
like-
Does she have the subtitles on?
she mumbles and like she's also like the
she knocked-
driest character.
Yeah, no emotion whatsoever.
I think that was it. Well, when Arthur was hitting on her and she used her magical powers to make the horse kick him off, and she was like, pick him up, and she just trotted on past him like she didn't give a shit about him. Patty was like, I like her, she's sassy.
Also, when she does that to knock him off the horse, I'm like, what if she had he had fucking like broke his neck?
Yeah, exactly.
That was like the end of the movie. Well,
Yes, but no, she has magical powers. She would have known about prophecy and whatnot.
debatable.
Yeah.
She can also summon snakes.
I'm a master at that.
Okay. So the mage rescues Arthur because once Jude Law finds out he's the born king, he's gonna kill him. She possesses animals to like cause a ruckus. Which I'm like, if you're a fucking mage, there has to be like an easier way to do that. Like she could obviously like mess with people's heads too. So like, why not just have the executioner like fucking kill everyone else?
Did she though? I didn't see her do that. I've only ever saw her control animals.
Maybe. I
Giant
just thought the
fucking
plan
animals.
was like a little haphazard.
Well, no, I think it would have made for an excellent story. Like, 'cause if it's successful, you can say, "Well, how'd you save him? I just flipped these guys the bird."
Oh my god.
I do like the part where Charlie Hunnam was riding backwards on a horse, and I have a note here that just says Bobby Heenan.
Oh, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, good sir.
Yeah, so this is where Arthur does his whole like he meets up with these the rebels or something that are gonna
Resistance, yeah.
Yeah, resistance that are gonna train him to take over to become king and kill Jude Law. Here's the thing. Jude Law had someone brutally murder Lucy in front of him, right?
Yep.
And he at this point he's still like, I don't know if I want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't that be enough to be like, yeah, let's go fucking kill this guy?
Yeah, well, there's
Like,
that. Well, and then also, Jude Law still has all the other whores. Guess what? They're dead now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he literally, I'm pretty sure he literally kills all of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, more great female characters.
Yeah, exactly.
They show up and have no lines and die. The only female character. And, like, the mage is literally just there to, like, deliver exposition.
Poorly.
Yeah. Yeah. The sword is not ready for you until you are ready for the sword.
They thought they're not ready for you. You will be ready for
Yeah,
sword.
She was clearly Yoda.
Were you doing a vague Schwarzenegger there?
I'm just mumbling my dialogue. There's a scene where they're escaping where she's like, she walks by like, they need your help, but she says it, they need your help. And if I were one of those guys, I'd be like, the fuck did that little lady just say?
Hey, wait. If there's Arthur and I don't want to fuck up his name. Jimon Hunsu and Goose Fat Bill and her.
Littlefinger?
That's 3 men and a little lady.
I hope
That
it pees
should've
when
been-
you burn. I hope it burns when you pee, Brendan.
Wow. That is
So good.
that is a swipe.
Gutenberg wasn't available to play Arthur?
Jeez.
Oh my god. Gutenberg, Selleck, and
Oh my
Danson.
god.
who was the other one in that movie? Ted Danson.
Yeah.
As Arthur and Jimon Hunsu's role and Goose Fat. Oh, you know what though? Guys, you know if Ted Danson was doing Jimon Hunsu's role, he would have worn the blackface, no question.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because he did it in real life.
I've got an idea for the sequel, guys. Hear me out. No, King Arthur and a Little Lady. I don't know.
All right. Okay.
Ted Danson
Yeah, starring Ted Danson.
was
Gutenberg.
dating Whoopi Goldberg.
That's why he thought it would be fine to do it at the Friars Club.
Yeah.
Anyhow, was the sword a hallucinogen?
Yes.
Yeah, it was like LSD, right?
Had to
That's what
be.
the S stands for,
Is it-
right? In LSD? It's like long sword dope? I don't know.
Lucid sword dope.
Lucid sword dopamine. Boom.
It's a lake, guys. It's a lake sword drug. Okay.
Much better.
Sword that was
sorry.
in the lake. It's a drug. It's a lake sword drug. Come on.
If you
This
wanna
is
know what
Nathan
dr-
paying attention again.
If you want to know what drugs are, go to the expert. Thanks, Nathan.
No problem. Glad I could help.
Yeah, guys, and if you're looking for drugs, no,
Go to Brendan. He's your hookup.
yeah. Hopefully, no police are listening to this podcast.
So,
Okay, where the fuck are we?
yeah, I think we're talking about...
We're actually coming up to the montage.
Yeah, in the
The
Dark
next
Lands.
montage. Well, this is. I had this. I was like,
Boy.
they ripped off so much stuff in this montage that it was
From the
embarrassing.
Princess Bride?
There was
Princess Bride and the Dark Forest on Dagobah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because he had to go in. He had to fight rodents of unusual sizes, and he also had to go in and he would be in the dark forest fighting his fears and things like that.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, for all the hype this got, because they were like, well, we need to send Arthur to the Darklands to prepare him for battle, and they were like, oh no, don't send him to the Darklands. He's not ready. He'll die. The Darklands scene fell short.
Yeah. by the time they
real
finished the
short of the
conversation, he was already done. He's like, how long have I been gone? Oh, I don't know, 20 minutes? I think you're good.
Yeah,
All right, good. Let's attack the king.
Again, that's the Guy Ritchie thing in this movie. Like, he goes to the Darklands, and it's explained away with, we're going to go to the Darklands. Oh, yeah, you already went. Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Time is different in the Darklands. To him, it was probably a year.
sorry. So,
He had to-
wait, so the Darklands is like
Inception.
in Interstellar when they go to space?
Exactly. Do you have any idea
come
how
back
many large bats he had to eat to survive for a year and then come back and like, how long was I gone? Oh, I don't know, 20 minutes.
Well, thank God it wasn't the reverse. Also, they talk about Merlin in this movie, but he never shows up either.
He showed up for about 3 frames when he was like forging the sword.
Oh.
Yeah, and I have a feeling now that you've exposed this to be a possible franchise that they had wanted to do. I have a feeling that he would have showed up in one of the later movies.
I do actually have a note here from my research that he was actually going to be featured in sequels.
Yeah.
Also, Lancelot was going to be in the sequel.
Of course.
I see. That's the thing with this. I was waiting for that last minute twist of the mage being Guinevere, and one of the other guys saying, "Oh, my real name is Lancelot" or
Littlefinger?
some bullshit like that. Maybe, I don't know.
I'm Guinevere. I'm Guinevere, you guys.
Totally.
It's totally Guinevere. Oh, I haven't seen.
Quaaludes were big in the Middle Ages.
I thought you were going to say Quaaludes were big in 2017. Yeah, it's like giving me flashbacks to like Pamela Gidley from Thrashing. If people haven't listened to that episode, that is a really deep cut.
Yeah, or Chris Klein from Rollerball.
There you go.
Yeah,
Chris Klein
Or-
from
but yeah,
anything.
no, we have the we get to see the Final Fantasy battle with the giant Grim Reaper, where we find out that when Arthur pulled the sword out of the stone, he was actually pulling it out of his dad's back.
That's right.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up.
Yeah,
Because it takes like an hour and a half, maybe an hour or 15 minutes of the movie to find out what we clearly already knew, is that Jude Law killed Eric Bana in that opening scene.
Mm-hmm.
Because the opening scene just cuts away as soon as like the mother gets killed, and you don't see what happens to Eric Bana. But I mean, it's pretty friggin' obvious,
yeah.
and it's supposed to be this big reveal, and then just like, we knew this, guys.
You never know. It could have
Yeah.
been who was another character that was back around that time? It could have been Merlin.
Merlin that killed Eric
M.
Bana.
Night Shyamalan
Exactly.
twist.
Oh God. Oh, M. Night Shyamalan made this movie. It would have taken place in modern times at the end.
Yeah.
they all stumble out of a Renaissance fair.
Yes.
I'll trip it on Quaaludes
Whoa.
the whole time. Oh my God!
What a
giant
crazy
elephants
day of
and-
work.
Oh.
Another day, another dime.
I feel like the Grim Reaper was trying to kill me, and he was hot.
And I think I saw him in Sherlock Holmes.
And then there was a giant snake, and oh wait, that's later.
That's later. Oh my God, have I got notes about that?
Ooh, is around this time.
yeah.
I actually have noted the one F-bomb for a PG-13 movie when
Yeah.
King
Yep.
Jude Law yells, "Do your fucking job!"
And my question is, that word wasn't around.
No.
Okay, that wasn't a question. That was a statement.
Yeah. I think it's interesting here because like we get an idea, start to get the reveal of what the original plan was with Jude Law and Modor, or whoever his name was, and I feel that Jude Law just wanted to make Camelot great again. Just wanted to make Camelot great again.
Oh dear.
Because he knew that there was violence on both sides, many sides.
Good
wow.
people on both sides too.
Wow. So and also King.
We just got political.
We've been calling him King Jude Law, but wasn't his name like Voldemort or Voldemort or something like that in this movie?
No,
I think Vortigern.
It was,
maybe it was
no, I
Vortigern.
believe-
Because
Or maybe that was just me. I'm like bored again watching this movie.
Wait, I found it here. Let me just take a look. No, in fact, his name was actually King Jude Law.
King Jude Law. That makes sense.
Okay, all right.
Vortigern.
Vortigern.
Okay.
Vortigern.
Because I remember, like, in the scene where, like, they had the people around for the execution and stuff, they were chanting something, but to me it sounded like Emotep. Like it was the fucking mummy.
Emotep.
Emotep. Emotep. And it's like...
We're talking the 1999 Mummy, right?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, the good one.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, Tom Cruise. Not a fan.
Where's Brendan Fraser? He should have been in this movie.
Brendan Fraser would have been phenomenal.
I think Brendan Fraser makes every movie better.
Ooh, what if the sexy
yeah.
Reaper was revealed to be Brendan Fraser? M. Night Twist.
He has that kind of range, trust me.
As George of the Jungle?
No, as that character he was in G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra.
Oh, when he was on screen for 5 seconds?
That's all the Reaper has.
You're right. Oh, crossover movie? Alright, we are plunging into the abyss here.
Alright, back to King Arthur,
way
Rise
off
of
the
Cobra.
rails. King Arthur, Rise of Cobra. Guys, let's write it. Let's write it. Okay. So anyway, the Darklands are over. And yeah, so I just have a line here that says like, and then Merlin made a sword, and he gave it to the Lady of the Lake, who then did this and that, and blah blah blah.
Yes, I have that as well.
Yeah, myths are fun.
Yeah, I really love scenes where they just explain to us an entire backstory through dialogue. It's a lot of fun.
Is it just me, or did one of the Resistance guys, or one of Arthur's, I guess, cronies, look like a British Drake?
Yeah.
Yes. You're talking about Goose Fat, right?
Yeah, Goose Fat.
Yeah, no, I can see that. Also, did you guys care about any of them?
Oh,
Like
yes.
as characters?
As one would care for another human being, yes, of course.
The dad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I was intrigued by Goose Fat Bill, but
As
care.
we all are.
Yeah, as for the dad, I cared for him, and then it was like, oh, but you also named your child Blue. Huh. Interesting. You think you're Jay-Z in the Middle Ages? That's cool.
He
he might have had that kind of talent.
He wanted to compete. He wanted to compete with Middle Ages Drake, as Nathan pointed out.
And now Lady Beyonce comes to the throne. Anyway.
Queen.
Queen Bee. There we go.
So this is the attempted assassination scene coming up here. They figure out Jude Law's going to be in town, old King Jude, and they're going to assassinate him. And apparently Jude Law went to the Saddam Hussein school of hiring doubles.
Just put a mustache on, it'll be fine.
Yeah. How long do I have to stand here? Don't turn around. It's fine. Nothing's going to happen to you. And Goose Fat fucks up the whole plan.
He just goes into business for himself.
Yeah.
He just starts taking folk out.
Much like Sexy Star, he goes into business for himself. Steve is like, what?
Yeah, it's a wrestling reference. We get the few in here once in a while.
Is it a wrestling reference from the past 20 years? Because if so, I'm lost.
Then you're lost, because it was like, what, a month or two ago?
CM Punk was brand new when I last watched.
Okay.
He was still the 1, 2, 3 kid.
That was a weird gimmick for him.
Yeah, right.
If you want a quick rundown, this wrestling is staged and whatnot. This girl legitimately broke another girl's arm in the ring.
Oh, I
Yeah.
think I
Like
saw that on the
and-
Glow documentary.
Yeah,
But yeah, the
this
old
was
one, yeah.
not the real, like for reals, because she was pissed off the way things were booked.
Ooh.
Yeah, and this is like she's pretty much blackballed from most companies now.
Oh wow! So what I'm hearing is, underground women's wrestling is what I should be watching.
It happened in the mainstream.
Oh, I know, but
Well,
she's kicked out of it now.
Lucha
so,
Underground.
So if
No,
I want to
no, it
watch her
happened
break
in-
arms, no, I was kidding.
It didn't. It happened in AAA,
Oh, I thought it was
Oh.
Lucha Underground.
like their giant show in Mexico.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
so like the Mexican version of the WWE.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's why it got so much press
Some-
because people were like,
Something scandalous happened in the the minor league version of the Mexican Wrestling League. That's weird.
But Mexican wrestling aside, they try to assassinate Jude Law in King Arthur. Goosefat goes into business for himself and shoots some guy that he has a tiff with.
Yep.
And yeah, you missed. I didn't miss. He slits his throat with the arrow or something.
Yeah.
Well, he shot he missed he wasn't aiming for the decoy. He was aiming for
Yeah.
the
The
actual
head of security or whatever. Yeah.
fucking sheriff of Nottingham, wherever the hell he was.
And like none of them knew that was the decoy. Like why are you fucking it up for everyone?
Yeah,
You
he
moron.
could have just like walked away,
Yeah.
and they're like, "All right, we need to figure something else out."
That's the moment where I was like, you know what? I hope they kill Goosefat.
And then we get the getaway, which is like GoPro Camelot
Oh,
style.
I do not care for that either.
Move.
Yeah.
Luckily, we had Kung Fu George to the rescue.
And then King Arthur, he gets his sword and he becomes Quicksilver.
Yeah. He
Yes.
goes full fucking Neo.
Yeah. Just
The
slicing
absolute
everybody up.
full Final Fantasy spell casting, just like the whole thing. I'm watching this, I was like, this is something that would happen in like Dragon Quest or Final Fantasy, where they power up the sword and cast this Earth spell where all the enemies, none of his friends.
Yeah.
All of the enemies are hurt by the debris and the rocks that are thrown around by the wind.
Yeah, it's
Right.
the ultimate like clear screen of enemies, move that you can do when you get leveled up. It's and everybody else is fine.
Yep. The only problem is it cost him half his magic points. So.
Magic points.
Magic points.
Yeah.
He'll have to drink lots of mana to get that back.
Oh my lord. All right, nerds, moving on. I shouldn't talk. I could be nerdy about stuff too. Okay. I do a podcast about bad movies. Like I'm pretty sure.
Dude, you made a reference to Sexy Star breaking somebody's arm in AAA. I mean, come on. I can't think of too many mainstream people who would be like, "Oh yeah, I remember that."
I feel like that's a pretty big story.
But,
Though.
oh no,
To
he
you,
did.
yes. Yeah, to you, nerd, it was a big story.
Wow, nerd. We gonna go there, nerd?
Yes, we are nerd.
All right, nerd. Let's move on.
All right, so back to King
All right,
Arthur, Rage in the Cage.
Yeah. So he basically wipes them all out. And then what's the guy's name who has the son? What's his?
Oddly enough, I don't
I-
know his name. I just
We
know his
we
dad.
kept
That's
thinking
the
of him
kid's
as Ricky
name.
Gervais.
Okay.
Blue's dad.
Yeah, Blue's.
Let's go with Ricky Gervais. So Ricky Gervais, and now I'm just picturing Ricky Gervais in this movie.
I'm a little hurt. It's
okay.
it's all right though. I mean, I'm sure I'll be fine.
In it. Drinking like a pint. So Ricky Gervais gets cornered by Jude Law and his guys, and they basically threaten to kill him because they want to know where Arthur is. His Ricky Gervais' son Blue runs back to check on him, and he pretends like, oh no, I don't know that guy, and like it ends up getting him killed, I guess.
Yeah, he was gonna get killed
Jude
anyway,
Law.
Yes.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, he comes back and he's basically he's trying to downplay the situation, so he doesn't kill him in front of him. sort of thing. He's like, I don't know. I mean, it's just, it's the guy who washes dishes and stuff. No, he's nobody to me.
Yeah. And then Jude Law, I have a note here that says Jude Law is Mr. Blonde.
Yes, cuts the ear off and starts talking into it.
Yeah. Two Tarantino things in this one scene, because I also was like their discussion, their argument, confrontation, or whatever. It gave me vibes of, like, for some reason, that scene in True Romance between Dennis Hopper and Christopher Walken.
Yes, very similar.
And I was like, this is not as good.
I almost expected the term grapefruit to be, or eggplant to be thrown around, and
yeah.
I'm like, wait, that wouldn't have happened.
Well, he said fuck earlier, so.
Well, yeah, that's true. And lest we forget the 100-foot elephant in the room.
The 100-foot elephant?
Yes.
No.
So, Arthur, at this point, again, they get away, and now Arthur wants to give up again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's all like, damn you, sword! And he throws it away.
Yeah. It's just like, it felt like such filler, like that stuff.
Yeah.
There's so many scenes of filler in this movie that I was like, they were going to make this over 3 hours?
Yeah.
Gosh,
Yeah,
Brendan, what is it like to watch a movie that is packed with filler and it tells no story whatsoever in regards to the historical accuracy of the story that they're trying to portray? Could you describe the feeling of having to watch that? For I have never experienced it once in life.
I don't know, but I gotta say, Pearl Harbor is a really good movie.
Fuck that movie.
Why does Michael Bay get to keep on making movies?
Yep, that's right.
At least Michael Bay didn't make this movie.
Wait for the sequels.
Yeah, we're nowhere near enough explosions.
Yeah. Too many British people, too. He'd be like, what's that? Is that a different nationality? America!
What language do you speak in England?
By the way, our Michael Bay impressions? Spot on. Oh, right, there we go.
By the way, you know who plays Lancelot? Marky Mark.
What? Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
Megan
What are we doing here?
Hey, guys.
Arthur, how's your mother?
Hey, guys. There's an army outside the gates.
What should I do?
Isn't that weird?
It's crazy. I mean, it's weird, right?
Isn't that weird?
It's strange.
Say hi to your mother for me.
Lancelot, are you going to betray me? What? No.
No, what? No. Why would you say that? We're friends, Arthur. We're buddies.
Lancelot, why is your shirt off? What? Oh, yeah. I mean, it's
No,
hot.
I'm just comfortable. I mean, it's warm out today.
do it.
Wait. Now it sounds like he's gonna be played by Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
Oh, no, it was nowhere near as drawly and laid out as like this, man.
Oh no, I just mean because he took his shirt off.
No. See, McConaughey, he's going to play the bad guy, the head of the Germanic tribes, and he's going to do it with a shaved head and a beard, a la Reign of Fire, and then that's when the money comes in.
We need to stop pitching this movie and put it in the...
That's when the money comes in. I want every pitch you ever give to end with, and that's when the money comes in.
I think we've already talked about the 5 sequels that are going to happen to this, because I want this to happen.
Guys, we will make it Hollywood. We will make it for 10 mil tops.
Oh yeah, I'm a master of Photoshop.
Yeah, and we'll all be in it, so you won't need to worry about the money.
Why is this?
So okay, this movie. You can tell
This is what it's done to us. This is what it has done to us.
Okay, yeah. Arthur has another little. I don't want to do it anymore. His sword. He gets his sword back.
Does some drugs.
Yeah. Okay. Again, here's the final. I think it's the final scene where they do that stupid editing bullshit, where they're talking about what they're gonna do and gather up the troops and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, he's trying to do the he's trying to talk other people into helping him, and they're talking about the plan while they're doing the plan.
But then it cuts back, and I'm like, did it happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Right?
Because there was even the scene where he's like, and that's that's why we're going to do this, and they're standing in the forest where, like, allegedly that conversation with the different tribes happened, and it's like,
yeah,
or is going to happen, or yeah.
It's so confusing.
Brendan was so upset.
I wasn't upset. I was just confused.
Of all the
Stop
things that
making
were
me the
confusing to
June.
him about this movie, that was number one.
Those scenes were number one. This one and the one earlier where they were like, the one earlier where they were like, Mike, more is better than less. Blah, 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 blah.
That was a spot on recital of the dialogue.
Thank you. I actually have the script in
I was
front
going
of
to
me.
say, he's looking at the IMDb quotes right now.
Yeah, it just says,
Plop, plop, Kung Fu George.
okay. So this is where they're finally, after they do that whole dumb edit scene, they're finally going to go in and invade the castle. And
Yes.
try to kill Jude Law or whatever.
Don't forget, Arthur does drugs and sees tree babes.
No. So after that scene, they go back to the cave because apparently that whole thing really happened. But then when they go back, apparently a predator had been there because there was a body hanging upside down from the ceiling of the cave.
Oh, yeah! Because that guy is there. And that
Yes.
one of the Jude Law's like soldiers is there, and he says, "Yeah, we basically wiped everyone out, and you can't do anything about it. Nana nana boo boo.
Yeah.
And now I'm going back to
I
the
gotta get
castle."
home to the wife.
Yeah, I gotta
you
get
know,
to
he
the
says I gotta get home to my wife, and I feel they could have killed that
Yeah, no
guy
shit.
and saved his wife.
Well, that's the thing. Like he says, if anything happens to me, what will happen to you will be tenfold. And I'm like, you're already heading to the castle.
Tenfold
Kill the
in
guy.
kind. And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, and who do they have at this point? They have, it was the mage and Blue. They're dead. Period.
British Drake.
Well, no, but
oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
I guess British Drake's there too.
They
yeah.
could have killed that dude and then just went straight to the castle.
Yeah.
like they were going
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Because okay, so then the way they organize this, they have fucking hell, Hunsao,
Jimon Hansu.
Jimon Hunsu.
I keep wanting to call him Digimon.
Digimon Han Solo.
Digimon Han Solo. Oh. So that guy goes to the castle to try to negotiate. Like, there's no attack. It's not like just like we're gonna attack. It's a verbal negotiation to get the mage back, but not the kid.
Yeah, keep the kid.
One thing at a time. One thing at a time.
Yeah, Arthur is a day's ride away from here, and then he'll pick up the child, and you can kill Arthur. Nope, but definitely, like, not lying to you. No way.
No way. We totally wouldn't do that
And
to you.
Jude Law is like,
here's the
"Yeah,
sword.
right."
We'll trade you for the magic chick. I'm sorry, magic chick.
Magic. I'm gonna say magic in my life from now on.
You're welcome.
I look forward to that.
Uh-oh, it's magic.
Now, Nathan, we're going to talk about the movie Magic that was made when they did this.
Practical magic.
Oh, we're not watching Practical Magic.
Oh, Nathan, what goes around?
Brendan, here's the thing. You pick the terrible ones first. It's always shots fired from you. It's always shots fired. I'm always returning in kind.
How dare I pick terrible movies?
Well played, sir. Well played.
He picks Ben and Arthur and Pearl Harbor, so that's why he had to watch Demons of Ludlow, okay?
Ben
I'm just
and
saying.
Arthur is a modern-day Citizen Kane.
Can I say your guys' past episodes? You guys only pick winners.
Well, that's good to know.
9 Lives?
Even Hollywood Homicide?
Oh, I haven't listened. Oh.
That's a lost episode. That's only on YouTube.
What? That's why.
You mean 9 Lives wasn't a complete winner?
Yeah, well, I mean, Academy Award winner Kevin Spacey. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Oh god. I just had PTSD flashbacks to that movie.
Wouldn't it? It would be a really good sense of justice if every time an Oscar winner made a movie like that, they had to give one of their awards back.
So speaking of which, have you guys seen the new Tomb Raider trailer? Anyone not excited for that? Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Starring Academy
I didn't
Award
even know they
winner
were
Alicia
making one.
Vikander.
Oh.
I don't know why that came up. Anyway, King Arthur 9 Lives. We were talking about.
King Arthur 9 Lives. So
We're talking about the negotiation
yes,
scene,
yes.
guest starring Anaconda.
yes, because well, yeah, when they go back, that fucking giant snake shows up.
Well, yeah. Well, okay. So they get the mage back. the Meiji go back like, all right, you guys ready for this? And basically like, here, have some of this. Yeah. So King Arthur drinks something magic or whatever, does a snake bite handshake with her, and then
see some tree
and then
chicks.
immediately starts tripping balls going into assault the castle because.
Yep.
I'm surprised this movie wasn't rated R just for the drug content alone.
Yeah, the answer is do drugs, kids. That's what King Arthur's telling you.
And I think that this is
King
the
Arthur's a
exact
hell of a
moment
role model.
when anyone who had watched it to this point in the movie was like, okay, this movie is horrible. This was the divisive moment right here when he was walking along, tripping balls, going into the castle. The music was playing. Amazing song, by the way. I love it. And then giant fucking anaconda comes bursting into the castle, wiping everybody out. Again, like a fucking special move cheat code.
Yes, I started laughing and I could not hold it in. And I was legitimately laughing out loud. Patty was watching it. She thought it was hilarious too. We were like, what kind of ridiculous garbage is this?
Well, yeah. I know you guys said you had an easy time watching this movie, but this third act is horrible.
It is. It's pretty bad.
It is so bad.
And
it's like Guy Ritchie, the third act, he was like, oh shit, I gotta have this movie end?
Yeah. I never got that far. I got the next 5
giant
Drugs and
planned,
snakes.
Giant snake and CGI final fight.
Yeah.
I see one of the producers at the dailies. Guy, what are you doing with this? Like, why is there a giant snake, and why did King Arthur do drugs? It'll be explained in the sequels. Trust me, we're gonna make millions and millions of pounds.
We'll call it King Arthur Blood Orchid. Yeah.
You'll be so excited to see the twist in King Arthur 5.
It'll make this all make sense by then.
It's gonna be the I'm your father moment.
And so, speaking of things that don't make sense, so the snake comes through, kills everybody except Arthur and his people and Jude Law. Jude Law goes running off, and the sword's stuck behind in the pillar because of bullshit. And so then Arthur slowly walks over, pulls the sword out, and just starts dragging it on the ground behind him, like walking slower than Frankenstein. It's like.
See, I thought that he did that. Like, I thought he took the slice with the sword, or made him take the swing with the sword, so it was stuck in the stone, so that he wouldn't be able to pull it out again.
That's setting it up for that. But then, Jude Law realizes that, runs off, and then Arthur pursues him, quote unquote, by slowly stumbling forward, dragging the sword behind him. There's no point to that.
Yeah.
It's like, step it up, guys. Come on. You know,
pacing. Pick up the pace.
And this is. So go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say apparently Arthur didn't know that he had an Ursula the Sea Witch in the basement ready to help him out in a moment's notice.
Oh, and we skipped this, but Jude Law also kills his daughter.
Because he has to in order to get, his next wish granted.
Right, and this is the thing too. In this movie, apparently you could just stab someone in the side and they die within seconds.
Punctured
Not
lung.
completely untrue.
It just looked really. I don't know.
Well, and he had plenty of time to do this because, as I said before, Arthur was slowly stumbling, so he had time to run up to the highest tower where his daughter's room is, kill her, drag the corpse down into the basement, because I assume there's not a speedy elevator in the Middle Ages. And then, as it's given back and he's given his power and all that stuff, then they can both meet in the other tower and have their epic, sexy Darth Reaper, whatever, battle, and yeah.
And it's so bad. It's such an awful. Even if I had liked anything that preceded this fight, it's just it's such a huge letdown for the movie. The movie just falls off a cliff.
I also feel that Jude Law was murdering loved ones left, right, and center for no good reason at all, because they actually say to him, when a loved one's blood is spilled in this water, it doesn't say anything about them dying.
That's true.
Cut their hand, stick it in the water. Blood has been spilled in the water. Thank you.
You should have played King Jude Law.
No, Rufus Sewell should have played Jude King Law.
That's the thing I was going to
King
say.
Jude Law.
Okay, that's the thing I was going to say about Jude Law. Did you guys find he was he looked bored?
A little bit. I didn't find him. I didn't find him menacing as more as I found him emotionless.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what they were going for. Like he's supposed to be cold or what, but
and this is coming from someone like I like Jude Law.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like him in a lot of different movies. He's a solid actor, but like I just feel like he wasn't fully on board with this thing.
Yeah, I think it was more a choice of what they wanted to be emotionless because he orchestrates the killing of his brother, the King Hulk, and then
Kinger.
and then he just like will kill anyone has ever met who could possibly be the Moses baby that was sent down the river years ago, or stands in his way, or looks at him funny, or says he isn't making America great. I mean, England
sociopath.
great. No, I don't know.
Yeah. He wanted to win bigly. He really wanted to win bigly.
Oh my god! I'm gonna rule this kingdom. It's gonna be huge.
I'm gonna build a wall.
So
Well, he did have a wall.
So another thing about this final battle that really even kind of pissed me off when it was happening, Arthur gets like knocked the fuck out, like across the room, and like slips into La La Land, and then it goes into this nice little scene where he's like talking to his dad or something like that, and I'm like, we interrupt this final battle to bring you a touching moment
Between Charlie Hunnam and the Hulk.
yeah.
All right, we know what we're gonna do here. It's gonna be a real touching flashback. It's a battle scene, you know. We're shooting the. It'll be a touching flashback in the middle of a battle scene. It'll be brilliant. No one's ever done it.
That guy will
There's a
wait.
reason for that guy.
There's a reason for that. yeah, guy. Just because no one's ever, you know what? I've never done heroin. Got a reason.
It's not a good idea. Boom, done.
Yeah, because that's the fight's so awful.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's terror. Like the not. It's not the graphics or the CG that they use in it were terrible. It's just that it doesn't look like it's in the movie. It looks like a cutscene from a video game. It actually have here this. If this movie had been a video game, this would have been an action command battle where you just like hit the right button at the right time.
Square,
Yeah.
sort of circle,
thing.
circle.
wouldn't it have been
Yeah.
more?
Yes.
Wouldn't it have been more like emotionally satisfying to see them fight each other like in human form?
No.
Yes.
Like just shut up, Steve.
I want him to fight in silhouette like the end of Masters of the Universe. That's what I was hoping for.
Patty actually said that it reminded her of God of War. That last fight reminded her of God of War.
Steve, it's
video game.
It's funny that you mentioned Masters of the Universe, Steve, because I told this story on the podcast before. But when I was a youngin', I actually rented that movie like every day for like a month.
I understand completely. Same here. I had a poster on the wall from ages 5 to about 12 because Masters of the Universe.
It was a pinup of
movie
She-Ra,
let me
wasn't
down.
it?
Actually, it was Evelyn, but
okay.
or Evelyn. Sorry.
Evelyn.
Because I mean, Meg Foster. I mean, come on.
That movie, man. I when I saw it, as a kid, I was like, "What is this horse shit?"
I
Because
was wondering why the principal from Back to the Future was the sheriff of that town, but that was about the only hesitation I had with that movie's logic.
Really, I want to know why they were on Earth.
You know
That
what?
too, but
Other than the
budgets.
principal thing, the film was flawless.
That's right. So Guy Ritchie's next
So Arthur
movie
defeats-
is going
Jude
to be
Law
Masters
turns
of the
into a
Universe.
boss battle.
We have talked
Aren't
about
they supposed to be making
so many other movies.
Masters of the Universe movie?
I believe Guy Ritchie's directing it.
I think we're talking about Guy Ritchie's Masters of the Universe movie.
Okay, Arthur defeats Jude Law, the Demon Knight. And
That's a movie we should do.
Yes.
oh, good gravy. The fight's awful. It's over. He kills him, and then we go to the Knights of the Round Table.
Quote unquote.
Yeah, well, yes, because everyone's getting knighted, and I felt it was really an oversight on their part that they left out the knight who actually built the Round Table. in this movie. They've left him out.
Who's that?
Circumference.
Boo!
Oh, boys.
I've waited the entire podcast to do
I
that.
was wait. As soon as they said Knights of the Round Table, I was like, "Here we go."
Like, buckle up, everyone. We got a goodie coming. All right.
The main event. You stay tuned till the very end.
Better than
I just have a note.
better than
I don't know
Jewish
if
night
someone-
circumcision.
Well, they were brothers, are they not?
I believe so. Yeah. I know. We'll never know if they don't make a sequel.
I know. We only find out in Arthur 6.
Somebody had to finance that round table.
So I have my last note here. Just says a dance floor,
Yeah.
and I don't know why.
Because they were making fun of what the table was supposed to be.
Oh well, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I just thought it was a weird reference.
Yeah, and a large
for
elevated
5th
dance
century.
floor, for the whores. Wait,
As one is wont to have.
But they're all dead now.
I would say for the new whores.
They'll get more.
The new horse.
King Arthur and the
It's
new
like a-
whores. Make it happen, Hollywood.
Is it like a breeding facility or something? Oh God. By the way, we have been saying the word horse because that is what they call them in this movie.
Absolutely. Ladies of the
I would
evening,
never-
prostitutes, well, it's all the same.
Yeah.
But they are
I
referred to as
respect
whores.
every profession.
That is historically accurate.
Yes. So that was King Arthur, Legend of the Sword.
Yes.
Yes.
Amazing, right?
And no,
What?
not amazing.
All right.
Did not care for this
Maybe
movie.
we need to start from the beginning because I'm still not understanding your hesitations about this film.
Okay, so we open with giant elephants.
Wait, stop right there. Okay, understood.
You had me at giant elephants.
So I believe it is time for our little. It's time for us to get poetic because it's time for Nathan.
Low haiku.
Yes. Now, Steve, I must ask: did you happen to bring a little haiku with you?
Yes.
It's okay. Oh, you did. Okay.
Wait, hold on. Give me 575, right? That's the syllable count?
Correct.
All right.
Correct. I will give you the floor since you are our guest. So why don't you give us 17 syllables that kind of sum up this movie for you?
And I'll read it my my poet voice.
Okay.
Can't wait for sequel. Wait, hold on. All right.
That's fine.
Cut it in
That's
post. Cut
fine.
it in post. No. I was kidding.
Yep.
Can't wait for sequel. Perhaps see Sir Lancelot. Lady Guinevere's breast.
All right. Lady Guinevere's breasts.
Okay.
Um.
They're magical.
Magical breast.
Good Christ.
By the way, Guinevere is not going to be the mage. She is out.
Yeah. That actress is out. Okay. Nathan, did you want to take the next one?
Yeah, okay. King Arthur is Jax. This movie is crazy bonkers. Shit, I wrote it down. He's like,
Fuck.
sorry. I had it written down and I put it down because I wanted to do it directly into the mic. So, yeah. King Arthur is Jax. This movie is crazy bonkers. I wanted more horse.
Ooh, good payoff. Good payoff. All right. And here's mine. A little low haiku for you. This is not Snatch, yeah? Guy Ritchie, are you mental? 5th century, dude.
Excellent.
Well played. Well played. I think that about sums it up.
Yeah. But you know what we always say on this show, Steve, I don't know if you know this, but we always say don't take our word for it.
No.
Absolutely.
Because this film has let me just see here, 28% on Rotten Tomatoes, 70% audience score.
Yeah. Because 70%
That's
of the people are
Quite
right.
the,
Wrong.
I'm sorry, Brendan. It for all of its moving parts, and there were several of them, this movie was considerably easier to digest than Demons of Ludlow, Pearl Harbor, Ben and Arthur, Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., Hollywood Homicide, Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. All of those movies, this movie was better than all of those movies.
This movie was better than G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra.
Oh, I don't know about that. That's a pretty great film.
Yeah, it's got Brendan Fraser in it.
His starring role. All right, so I'll start us off. I got a little snippet here from RogerEbert.com. Of course, not written by Roger Ebert. I still think that's weird.
Yeah, it is a little weird.
Still, they should change the website.
It's from RogerEbert.com. It says, rolling, 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 rolling in my grave.
Oh my god.
Yikes.
And that's just about King Arthur. That's specifically for this movie. No, the review from RogerEbert.com, and it kind of sums up how I felt about it. The entire movie is an information delivery device with top dollar production values, forever mistaking getting to the point for the point itself. It's the legend of King Arthur as told by an auctioneer. I'm not sold.
Was he talking about the quippy, snappy dialogue?
Yeah, that just doesn't fit.
Better, more is better. Better, less and better.
Oh, God.
And then coupled with, they need your help. Well, what was that, Mage? Did you say something?
Giant snake, giant snake.
You mean the fucking keys, fucking cocks, like what the fuck?
That almost sounded like it was a Guy Ritchie movie for a second.
Yeah.
Alright. What you got, Nathan?
Okay, let's see what I've got here. I'm gonna go with the Christian Science Monitor.
Yes!
Wow.
They say, this is not your father's King Arthur legend. It may be not yours either.
I love all the Christian Science Monitor reviews that we've read, of which we've read many, have never gotten like religious.
No, they're
It was that was pretty catty too.
They're super well done. I might have to reach out to them, see what they thoughts are on other movies.
This is this is a review from Peter Howell of the Toronto Star. Oi! What's Guy Ritchie gone and done with King Arthur then? And it's actually spelled A-R-F-U-R in the review.
Arthur.
Well, because it's how you say King Arthur.
Yeah.
It's how you say it,
That's how you
right?
say it, King Arthur.
Well, Peter Travers from the Rolling Stones says director Guy Ritchie can turn London crime dramas into cinematic lightning, but apply his fast cuts and jagged pacing to the Arthurian legend, and you get, well, a brutal blatant mess.
Okay, so another negative one. This is a positive review, but it's a 2.5 out of 4, so it's not overly positive. But this is a... I don't know if this is really, like, selling me on the movie, but it's George Thomas of the Cleveland Movie Blog.
Oh, they mean the Pulitzer Prize winning Cleveland movie?
I didn't know this
To be
movie was in
fair.
Cleveland. Anyway.
Negative. It's a negative review. Was not set in Cleveland. Did not watch.
Yeah, it was set in London Obtanium, or whatever the hell they were calling the city.
Oh, Londinium.
Londinium, yeah.
Yeah. He says, it possesses the flourishes fans come to expect from a Guy Ritchie film. That's his positive
That's
little
it?
snippet.
Glowing.
Yep.
Hey, Guy.
I do have a positive one.
I was
Go
going to
ahead.
say, hey, Guy Ritchie made it. How bad could it be? 4 stars.
4 stars. Okay, I got one from the New Republic here. It says, Ritchie has reached into the medieval quiver of tales and material, but has not imposed the meta-narrative of Western history into those stories. For this restraint, medievalists should be thankful, and the critics should be a little more forgiving.
Did you just say he doesn't impose those narratives?
That's what he said.
Huh.
I strongly disagree.
Well, take it up with Josephine Livingston of the
I'm
New Republic.
emailing her right now.
Okay.
I guess this is probably summing up what you guys think about this movie. This is a positive review, and it says it's from Scott Menzel at We Live Entertainment, or We Live, I don't know. He says, all in all, King Arthur Legend of the Sword is unnecessary but forgettable fun. While not a must-see film, it is pure popcorn entertainment.
I mean, he's not wrong.
You want to?
It's a 6 out of 10. I mean, it's not glowing.
Yeah.
Here's a good I guess a backhanded positive review from Jorge Rivera Rubio from the Movie Network. Fans missing movies like The Lord of the Rings should give it a try. It isn't better, nor does it come any close than a wonderful trilogy, but I had a much better time with this than any of the Hobbits.
Yeah, fact. By the way, this would have been a double trilogy. Think about that. Just like Lord of the Rings.
Yikes.
I like the Hobbit movies. I don't care what anyone says.
Oh, wait. I think I have a review right here from Steve of Everything I Learned from Movies. It says, did you see King Arthur go full Neo? Fucking giant snakes and elephants and shit? Rock on! 4 stars.
From RogerEbert.com. Yeah, so those are the reviews for King Arthur, Legend of the Sword. Like we said, never take our word for it. Or, in this case, I guess we were pretty split on it, but we both agree. I think we all can agree it's a pretty nutso movie.
It is.
Yeah, it's pretty bonkers, yeah.
So, I guess at this point, we should, before we start plugging anything or thanking our guests, I guess we can thank them later, I don't know.
Or not, whatever.
We should, yeah, whatever works for you, man, if that's your thing. We should talk about what's coming up.
Ooh.
A Hinsky?
A Hinsky from Nathan.
A clue?
Nateru.
Maybe give a possible a wink to what's coming up?
Yeah.
A tip, maybe?
All right, give your damn clue.
Okay. This is a movie starring a dear Facebook friend of mine.
Face Off.
Yes, Nathan is Facebook friends with Nicolas Cage and John Travolta.
God, I wish that would make Facebook so much more interesting.
Okay,
sorry, go on.
Any of you creeps on Facebook want to look up Nathan's friends, figure out who that is. You're more than welcome. Right?
Yeah,
Just random people can just add you on Facebook?
I'm not going to say I'm going to add them back, but...
Oh boy. Okay, so that is coming up. I also want to thank Steve.
Hey.
Steve from Everything I Learned from Movies for stopping by with us. Now, I understand you do have... Now, Izzy wasn't here with us today.
She was not.
But... I do... She's here with us. She's not dead.
Exactly. I'm back, bitches.
Izzy is... We discussed this before. Izzy is actually just a computer program that Steve invented.
It's true. Thank you, Internet.
But you did... I believe she did record a little something?
She did, yeah.
If you want...
Let me play it here for you.
Hey guys, this is Izzy. I'm so sorry I can't make it. I'm out at a flea market selling my goods and wares and services. But I just want you guys to know that King Arthur is fucking amazing. I don't know a better rendition of Assassin's Creed that involves Kung Fu. So you're wrong on your opinion, and it's amazing. Thank you so much for having us on. I really, really appreciate it. Have a great night. Bye!
Okay, well, thank you very much, Steve, for coming by. And
thank you for having me.
You want to throw in some plugs for your show? Where can we find your show?
You can find us pretty much anywhere on the interwebs with Everything I Learned from Movies. We're on Podbean at EILFM. That's Everything I Learned from Movies.podbean.com. We're on the Twitter at EILFMovies. It'll say Steve, EILFM. We're on Etsy, selling incredible art. And also Izzy's Etsy page is untidyvenus.etsy.com. We're on Google Play, iTunes, all that stuff. Yeah. Listen.
Are you on all those podcasting platforms that Brendan made up to?
Yeah, you on Pocket Knife?
Yeah, Pocket Knife, Stitcher, Twitcher, Belly Itcher, all those things.
Basically, wherever you get your podcast, guys, they're there.
Yeah.
You want to plug your LinkedIn account, or?
Nah.
Okay.
Wait. If you're a whore looking for a pimp, you can find me on LinkedIn at
Steve's Roundtable.
exactly. Join the sexy knights.
Username Circumference.
Oh, good lord. And that works on another level now. Awesome. Nathan, plugs.
Yes, of course. I'm always plugging my good friend Montrose Monkington
Wow.
III.
Oh, Montrose.
Yep, head on to Facebook. You can check out Montrose Monkington III, Esquire, and Friends. I'm also on YouTube, Montrose Monkington TV, and Twitter at Montrose Monkington III. And also, there will be some videos coming up. Well, they'll have already been released by the time this thing comes out. From this weekend's pay-per-view, the WWE. He'll be reviewing match by match and offering his posits and thoughts.
And yeah, I didn't even think about that. It's Thursday today because we're live, guys. So what do you have coming up next on your show, Steve?
Let's see. Hold on.
I know it's hard to remember because it is Thursday.
Yes. Well, on Tuesday we would have released Evolution, completing Alien Invasion Month. So our next one this coming Tuesday would be the start of John Carpenter Month. And we actually haven't decided which one it's going to be, but it's probably going to be one of the lesser-known horrible ones. Well,
right.
Horrible by John Carpenter standards. I mean, that guy only makes gold.
Yeah. So probably
Vampires
Halloween.
will be part of it, as well as Ghosts of Mars,
Halloween, The Fog,
Christine. I'm trying to think what like In the Mouth of Madness maybe. I don't know, we haven't really decided, but John Carpenter month coming
King
up.
Arthur.
Happy October. Ben and Arthur, directed by John Carpenter.
Oh man, sign me up. And of course, for us, you can find us on Twitter, WWTT Podcast. Find us on all the podcatcher thingamajigs out there. There's iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Google Play, Pocket Knife, Yamma Wamma Ding Dong, all those fake ones and real ones. They're not all fake, guys. Look for us. Well, if you're already listening, we're also on YouTube as well, and on Facebook. You can find us at What Were They Thinking. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it.
Are you sure that's it?
It sounds like this. Nathan, do you have any questions for me? Or?
Well, I guess there's only one burning question in regards to this movie. I mean, we were talking about a movie where an Australian actor plays the Born True King of England in a very odd choice of tone where everybody speaks like Cockney gangsters and then they'll go to epic language, and in a movie where magic is real, and we had a guest appearance from Anaconda. I guess really what I've got to know is what were they thinking?
Hey, do you like movies?
Hey, do you like podcasts?
If you do, then come on down and listen to the Home Video Hustle podcast, homie.
Hustle.
Every Friday, we talk about whatever movie PJ picks out the bag. What does that mean? Well, every Wednesday on our YouTube page, I pick a bunch of movies at random. Sometimes there's a theme to it, sometimes not. PJ picks the movie out, and guess what? We watch it on Friday. We talk about it for about maybe an hour and a half, whatever we feel like doing. Might give you something good to watch, baby. Come on down every Friday.
So come get your hustle on with Home Video Hustle.
You can find the show on any podcatcher app, or you can come down to homevideohustle.podbean.com. All of them in one place for you, so you can go ahead and binge it like it's Netflix. We ain't the Defenders, but I like to think we a little bit better than that. Come holler at your boys, man. Come chill with us. Peace.
Peace.